everyone, Daniel Creel here, Ambassador of PinSeeker, and today I'm releasing a video talking about bounce. So if you've been following the channel lately, we did just release a video on bunker play. I go into a little bit of detail on there about bounce and how it relates to the bunker shots and what you're trying to accomplish. I did make a mistake in that video. After we published it, I watched it and I reversed basically what bounce you should want. So I said in the video, if you play in firm conditions, you need more bounce, and that is not correct. If you play in firm conditions, you're probably going to want less bounce, okay? And the reason is because the ground is already hard. You're going to bounce off the ground or the turf already, so you want less bounce so it has a sharper leading edge, and you're going to be able to dig and be a little bit more aggressive. And in softer conditions, you do want more bounce because, again, a sharper lead edge or less bounce is going to dig into softer turf or a bunker, so you might want more bounce in that condition. So correction, harder conditions you want less bounce, softer conditions you want more bounce, okay? But conditions are not the only thing that dictates what kind of bounce you want. You may want to look at your swing, and maybe what kind of style player you are will determine what kind of bounce you want. So what I mean by that is if you're really steep into chips or pitch shots, or you take a deep divot, you might want less bounce because you're already really steep, okay? If you're shallow divot taker, you might want more bounce because you already don't dig into the turf. You might need a little bit more help digging into the turf and creating that friction to create spin and that shot variation where you have options. So I got 3 wedges here. I'm gonna demonstrate the bounce, or go over the bounce, with the Callaway Raw wedge. If you haven't seen these are awesome. Callaway Raw, Jaws Raw. They're very, very good. This is what I play with, and what I've got here is 3 different bounce options. So where you can see bounce on your clubs is you've got the loft of each wedge, and you've got a number below the loft. And all your wedge manufacturers are going to have similar specs on these, or options. And then you're going to see a letter. The letter is going to be the grind. So that's basically the sanding of different areas, the toe, the heel, the leading edge, and the back edge, to create a grind to give you different variations of the wedge to maybe play to a player's strength or course conditions. So I'm going to take these 2. I've got my highest grind and my lowest grind, which in the Callaway is either going to be 12 degrees or 8 degrees. And I'm going to go over this. So bounce is going to be the bottom of the sole here. It's going to be the roundness of the sole. And you can see these, to an untrained eye, might look very, very similar. But what we can see here, this is the 12 degree, this is the 8 degree, which you can see on the camera. This one's going to have more roundness here, and it's going to have a duller edge, where this one's going to be a little bit flatter coming into the edge, which creates a sharper leading edge, which means it's going to dig into the ground. So that's number 1. And number 2 is you'll see how this has a little bit more of an arched back to it, where this one's a little bit flatter. So this one I can lay open, so I can open the face flat to the turf like this, and the leading edge is going to be closer to the ground than with this wedge. So if I lay this one flat, this leading edge is going to be a lot bigger here, or this trail edge is going to be a lot bigger, so it's going to make the leading edge stand up, which is going to make it harder to hit an open face shot. So what I mean by that is, if you want options around the green, a rule of thumb is you want less bounce. But again, you need to be a highly skilled player or be really, really good and comfortable with your wedge game to go with less bounce. It's going to offer you more options, but it's also going to be less forgiving. So yeah, you might be able to hit that flop shot, but how often will you be able to actually pull off that flop shot? So this one is going to be way more forgiving, so you can still hit flop shots, but it's going to be limited how high you might be able to hit that flop shot. But the bounce is going to help guide you through the grass and get you on the green. So at the end of the day, you need to be honest with yourself. What skill level am I, and what am I really trying to accomplish on the course? Because at the end of the day, on the golf course, 30% of your shots may be a little tricky, but 70% are going to be straightforward, and you're just trying to get it up and down to save a par or a bogey or whatever it may be. And your goal might just be, I just want to get up and down more often, not hit all the fancy shots that I see on TV. So you might want a little bit more bounce. Bounce is your friend. It's not a bad thing. But then, say if you're more of a lower handicap, you get up and down most of the time already, but now you need more versatility around the green. When you miss the green, you might have to go over a bunker, or you might have to hit to a tight pin, and you want to be able to check it up. But then less bounce is your friend, because you can open up the face, you can lead with the hands, you can create more friction, and you can just hit a lot more variety of shots, because typically these low bounce wedges are going to have grinds, and this one's a Z grind, and it's ground a little bit in the front and the back, and also what you're going to notice is going to be ground in the heel a little bit. So what that's going to allow is out of the bunker, you can hit a lot of variety shots out of the bunker, and it's going to really slice through that sand really nicely. But again, that can be a downfall, because you can dig into the sand deeper and leave it in the bunker, where this 12-degree bounce has more sole here, but it's not going to cut through the sand as much. It's going to glide more through the top of the sand, which is, again, going to get you out of the bunker more often, but you might not be able to hit that tight spinner that you're looking to do. So I hope this helps you guys on choosing bounce. So basically what you guys need to look at is your course conditions. Where do you play most of the time? Is it hard? Is it firm? And then look at your skill level. You know, how good am I? Do I need to work a little bit more? I do want more versatility around the green, but I need to get a little bit more comfortable. So you need to practice and then go with a lower bounce. Or you can say, hey, I just stink around the greens. I'm just trying to get it on the green, try to get myself as much of a chance to get up and down. You may just want a higher bounce to help you do that and be more forgiving. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you have any comments or any questions on bounce, or need help choosing bounce, or you have some questions on anything really golf related, comment below. We want to hear back from you guys. We're dedicated to pumping out more content on a weekly basis. We want ideas. We want to know what you guys want to hear and want to see. So make sure you comment. You can email our support team, and they'll share it with us as well. And make sure you click like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit the alert button to get alerts when we drop new contents. Thank you guys for tuning in, and happy pin seeking.